I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.
Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor. This week, the Social Security Hindenburg. On the one hand, Social Security is in financial straits. Unless the politicians take drastic action, whether raising payroll taxes or cutting benefits, their retirement scheme will be unable to keep up with the benefits. On the other hand, inflation is so high that seniors admit they cannot live comfortably enough on their retirement income. What is the solution? Well, Social Security cannot raise benefits because it cannot afford to, but what good are the monthly checks if a buck buys a nickel's worth? Two interesting developments recently happened. First, the Senior Citizens League recently projected that Social Security's cost of living adjustment could be 2.66% in 2025 based on the April Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, also known as CPIW, which came in at 3.4%. This is not the final forecast, as there are still a few months to go until the October COLA announcement. That said, if this is an accurate forecast, it might not be enough, says Shannon Benton, the executive director of the Senior Citizens League. She said, quote, "With the forecast of a 2.66% COLA for 2025, it appears seniors will continue to suffer financial insecurity as much next year as they have this year." She added, quote, "In the Senior Citizens League 2024 Senior Survey, a concerning trend emerges as 71% of respondents highlight an increase in household costs exceeding the 3.2% COLA they received for 2023. Now, this comes as various polls show an inconvenient truth for America's seniors. Inflation is taking away the shine from their golden years. A recent survey of 2,000 U.S. retirees released by Schroders found that more than two-thirds, or 68%, are concerned about outliving their assets, and less than half, or 44%, believe they have saved enough. But here's the kicker. If Social Security addressed these concerns, or if public policymakers did something about it, nothing could be done. Philip Swagel, the director of the Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, recently testified before the House Ways and Means Committee subcommittee on Social Security. He highlighted the financial challenges Social Security faces in the coming decades.
And we've been working on it, and we'll continue to work on it in a variety of ways.
In his testimony and in the complimentary report, the nonpartisan budget watchdog anticipates the Old Age and Survivors Insurance, or OASI, trust fund will reach zero by fiscal year 2033, and the Disability Insurance, or DI, trust fund will be exhausted by 2061. If combined, the trust funds would fall to zero by 2034. Just to maintain the current structure through 2098 would require an immediate and permanent 4.4% increase to payroll taxes or a 4.4% reduction in benefits. Now, according to these reports and Mr. Swagel's testimony, these figures could be adjusted higher or lower based on growth prospects. Now, demographics also matter. If people are not having kids, more people are dying, and net immigration is insufficient to address benefits, Social Security would be hard to resolve. In the end, Social Security will not collapse overnight. It will take many years. Consider a recent report from the agency's annual trustees report that was published in early May. The trust fund reserves to pay benefits are expected to be exhausted in about a decade. Does this mean that benefits will stop being paid out after, let's say, 2035? The report noted that retirees would receive 83% of their full benefits, meaning Congress would need to employ some of the proposed suggestions, like hiking payroll taxes and trimming benefits, to keep the 100% intact. Of course, there is no easy answer to any of this. The American people are already taxed to death in a plethora of ways, while reducing benefits would be the death knell for millions of seniors who depend on Social Security to put food in the refrigerator or keep the lights on. For now, it does not appear to be much of an issue for the upcoming election. President Joe Biden wants to increase agency funding by 9% without addressing the meat and potatoes of the retirement scheme's fiscal problem. Former President Donald Trump wants to grow the economy to keep Social Security intact. He's also been vague on how to address the shortfalls. He recently alluded to in a CNBC interview about components like theft and bad management. Here is a brief snippet of what Trump critics are clinging to.
So first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and the bad management of entitlements, tremendous bad management of entitlements. There's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things you can do.
Would this be enough? The CBO chief says there are plenty of uncertainties in the future, from high inflation to high interest rates to earnings growth. Consider this. Social Security is the top budgetary spending item, followed by, depending on the month, interest payments, and then defense spending. With this in mind, it is safe to say that neither man will resolve the coming Social Security Hindenburg. That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column on the pages of LibertyNation.com, and be sure to check out my previous Swamponomics TV videos and interviews. Also, for more on this Social Security issue, take some time to watch my full interview with economist Lawrence Kotlikoff. Thank you. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.